Kyler Murray, welcome to the NFL. It's the coach. You're tuned into Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Cardinal fans will see the debut of their dynamic new quarterback, #1 overall pick, Kyler Murray, as the Cardinals and new coach Cliff Kingsbury play host to the Detroit Lions. I'll be back at halftime with a look at the early games, but let's get you out to the desert. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense and Matthew Stafford ready to go here. Stafford still a solid quarterback in his 11th season now, but the Lions still yet to win a playoff game under his guidance. And last year's mark of 6-10, the worst since 2012 for the Lions. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Had a nice offseason chat with wide receiver Marvin Jones, who's excited about his opportunity to return to form after injury ended his year in 2018. Remember, in 2017, he led the NFL in yards per catch and twice has been in the top 10 for receiving touchdowns in his career.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. And here is the Cardinal defense.
Chandler Jones just keeps getting better and better. Each season, he adds a little more to his game. I wonder if he wants to take on his UFC fighting brother at any time.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Well, for these two franchises, the Lions and the Cardinals, it all began back on a Sunday in October of 1930 when the Chicago Cardinals visited Portsmouth, Ohio to play a scoreless game against the hometown Portsmouth Spartans in front of 6,500 fans. 4 years later, the Portsmouth Spartans would move to Detroit. But anyways, 90 seasons later, after some rebranding, a couple relocations, one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL still lives on. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Now Stafford. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On fourth down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Cardinals now for their first drive. They'll be led out by Kyler Murray, the #1 overall pick in April's draft, and also the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First down, Murray. There's the first NFL grab for Andy Isabella. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. This is Kenyon Drake, the 4th-year man from Alabama. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a pickup of a yard there. That won't help too much. They're left with a 3rd and forever now. Here's Murray back near his goal line. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, Danny Amendola. This is fielded at the 27. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from up in Seattle. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. From the 50, it's Stafford.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions,
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the tuck and run. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st down, Drake. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. And he hits Drake. The 3rd down run gets him nothing. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Now the former Sun Devil, Zane Gonzalez, for the field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll get this one to Galladay. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that catch number 100 for his young career. And remember, only in his 2nd season. The future bright. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Stafford. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Murray going to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down. To throw is Murray. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now Murray. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
So far, just the single catch. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. This is caught by Williams. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. That is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Murray. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Right back to Drake. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A nice gain of 21 yards. Several media outlets thought Andy Isabella was the top receiver in this year's class out of UMass. He dominated his senior year there. 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns. They really say that he can just take a top off a defense. He ran a 4.31 40 at the Combine, 3rd fastest of all attendees. And then he was taken 62nd. A lot of experts think he was a major bargain with loads of potential. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's got it to Williams. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Running, it's Drake. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3. From the 31, Murray sliding out of the pocket. He'll run it. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 14. Some early fireworks from this rookie quarterback getting the start in week 1.
And every time a rookie quarterback gets to start week 1, you and I both know the extra attention that comes with it. We know that he's going to throw the football, but will he make the right decisions? And in this case, with his legs, he showed the defense there's an extra dynamic to his game.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Let's go now. 25 tackles, tackle. Say.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Let's go, D.
They'll run on first down. Swift. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On second down, Johnson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
That's it, baby. We go.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. On 2nd down and 4. Stafford, catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Pass from Stafford, caught by Amendola. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Let's go.
Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Throwing to Stafford, and it's caught here. Amendola. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. He got maybe a half-yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They go to Johnson again. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Taking it in from a yard out as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the touchdown run came from Kerryon Johnson to cap things off. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Will Harris there to make the play. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the fourth quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back. Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford. Good. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
Fielded just inside the 20. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. He's got the first down and more past midfield. A huge play there for Arizona. 46 yards. And that run has to be so deflating for the defense. They needed the stop. That might put the icing on the cake.
Perfect word for it, because when an offense grinds a defense down and kind of takes their heart from them, and you see them start to sag, no better feeling for the team running the football.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Murray now to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming.
Now Drake.
It's running. It's running.
Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
All day, dog.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run with Drake. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that now makes this a 15-7 game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by 8. A little over a minute and a half remaining. They need a touchdown and, of course, the two-point conversion as well. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford here coming off his pick six. His throw incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Set, 280. All day, all day.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Got a man. That's Allison. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They snap it to Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Chandler Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you. So for the Cardinals, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home.